Want to attend the legendary Thrivetime Show Business Workshop for free? Subscribe on iTunes, leave an objective review, and send us confirmation at info@thrivetimeshow.com to claim your tickets. Want to live in a van down by the river? Come by and see us at our Riverwalk offices, and we'll be able to make your dreams come true.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome to another exciting, exclusive podcast edition of the Thrivetime Show. See, the podcast edition, it's a little bit wild because we don't have the encumberments. We don't have the restraints. We don't have to stick within the guardrails of the radio.
The man can't hold us down, man.
Well, we have a lot of great sponsors on the radio show. And so sometimes we might refrain from saying certain things. We don't have to stick within the boundaries of certain time
federal
limits.
Regulations.
Right. So we can say pretty much whatever we need to say. So this segment can be very short, very long, very crazy, very sane. We don't know what could happen.
We don't know.
He just wants to curse. I can see it in your eyes. You just want to say curse words.
No, Pastor Brian Gibson over there at River City Church has been working with me through.
Doing better?
It's more of a shame approach.
Electric shock.
No, but I'd prefer not to curse on the podcast unless we have to.
Okay, all right. I'm making a point.
Right. So
Okay.
now, Mr. Charles Kolaw, you have 3 multi-million-dollar gyms, and you have no plans on stopping. You're going to be opening up more, potentially franchising or opening up more corporate-owned stores. For the listeners out there, just to give you a little context into the life of Charles Kolaw, he and his wife, Amber, started a fitness company called Kolaw Fitness out of a home worth 115,000 people in the thriving metropolis of Bartlesville, Oklahoma. You worked out of that home, stayed in that home, lived in that home for over 15 years, if I'm correct?
Yeah, I think it's 14 years.
14 years. And so here you are. You've had a lot of success. I think you're just at the beginning of your success. You're not even near the plateauing. You're just at the beginning. Look up Charles Kolaw. Look up Kolaw Fitness. You can see the physical locations. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar facilities. And yet you still have the curiosity to want to grow your business. And so here you are. You get a chance to ask the man, the myth, Dr. Z, my mentor, any business question possible. I'm excited. See, it's a double-blind study.
This is awesome.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm kind of sweating a little bit.
Here we go, Charles. What do you got?
Well, first off, I was going to say thank you for this opportunity to talk to Dr. Z here.
250 pounds.
The Z Master.
Wait, I'm anticipating your question. What I can bench press. I can't bench press 250.
Right.
Well, I was going to say.
I'm anticipating lying to your question.
Yes. Well, first off, I was going to say is for you, I think a lot of thrivers out there want to know what is, as far as in like financing to get them to start a business, what kind of recommendations or moves do you know of or you would recommend for certain people that want to get started? Like for me, because I know it's such a grind to get started. What's kind of your take on helping businesses that want to start up or somebody who's currently in a business wants to grow their business to get financing?
So the question you're asking, just so I get this.
It's the money question.
The money question. Are you asking what Z's take on funding businesses or his advice to somebody out there who wants to get funding?
Yeah, basically somebody who's needing funding to either start a business. I think most of these people are starting. A lot of these people are in Thrive.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go first so he can one-up me and show. I'm going to go first because I want him to one-up me on this because this is something I want to make sure we're getting this. If you're listening out there and you don't have the money needed to start a business, please listen to the background of Dr. Z before he gives you his answer. So this is the background. He went to NSU, Northeastern State, right? Northeastern Oklahoma State University?
Northeastern State University, yes.
Okay, NSU. And there you study mathematics and optometry.
Correct.
You did not come from a wealthy home. You had a lot of kids and a little money.
Correct.
Very little money, a lot of kids in the family. And you had a vision to start your own business someday.
Correct.
And you went to work for iMart and rose up in the company to become the president of the company. And you ended up getting fired. The only job you've been fired from, right?
Correct.
And then you got rejected by every single bank you went to in Tulsa when you tried to get the financing.
You're a touch backwards on it, but that is accurate. But it's before.
I guess
that. Anyway,
in the timeline of your career, you've been rejected by all the banks.
That was before I went to iMart.
And you got fired from a job where you were the president of something.
Correct.
And then you worked 7 days a week to turn your dream into reality.
Correct.
So if he gives you some advice here, and it might sound harsh, I'm just telling you, my man has worked 7 days a week for years in a row to build. He's the master of delayed gratification. So, Z, what advice would you have for the entrepreneur who says, I'm trying to get funding? What advice would you have?
Well, here's step one. You've got to make sure you have a war chest. And how do you get a war chest? You live below your means. You get a thing called a job, a J-O-B.
Job? That seems offensive.
You make some money. You might even get 2 jobs. You say, hey, listen, I'm not doing anything on the weekends. I'll do a 3rd job.
Are you talking about 2 jobs? What about life balance, though?
Yeah, you'll have time for that later, okay? You got to get a war chest because if you go to a financial institution, the best place to get money is the bank. You can get the cheapest you can get there. You go to a venture capitalist if you've got a great idea. They're going to want a little bit more than the bank's going to want. Your SBA loans, they can walk you through that, but you're going to have part of the money up front to
I have
step
a
into it.
question real quick. I was just, when you were saying getting 2 jobs, I was thinking about just the whole life balance thing, because I think a lot of times if I work like 40 hours a week, and I'm just thinking my idea is just incredible, and I just wanted to see, do you always have to work multiple jobs? I mean, you have to save money. I mean, does that have to happen?
Yes, I would challenge you. The average American U.S. citizen is watching 5 hours of TV a day. Take that 5 hours, go get a job. How much can you make in a year with those 5 hours working?
Yeah,
okay?
that's how I stay relevant, is by watching the TV. I do a lot of that. I really know a lot about Ricky Lake. She's got some really nice topics.
The reason why the average American only has $400 in the bank in savings is because they're living above their means.
That is more
right?
than I have currently. I just want to say that.
But you're very relevant.
They've got 10 bills and they can only afford 9 of them as it is right now, and they're out, buying more stuff.
But you hear that a lot. People say, I can't work 2 jobs right now. I've got kids. I've got, I'm in college. I've got a lot going on. I mean, my idea is so awesome.
No, you have to. I remember back in college, the only job that I could work into my schedule was I was the overnight dishwasher at a truck stop. I went at 10 o'clock at night and got up at 6 o'clock in the morning on the weekends. I was a weekend.
Attention, customers here. We've got shower number 3 open. Shower number 3 open.
Sorry, Clay. Zoner's in there washing dishes right now.
Pump number 2 on. We've got pizza ready for you.
And I planted where I was grown, and I did a great job. And I remember the owner of it always paid me in cash. He was always a tad bit shady.
Were you in one of those?
And he'd always come up. He'd always kind of feel bad when he paid me. He goes, I have no idea what you're doing working here, son, but you're the best dang dishwasher we've ever had.
Were you at one of those shady truck stops where it offers, it offers certain products in the bathrooms? I mean, were you at that kind of a truck stop? Or was it like a truck stop where...
It can't be a truck stop if you don't offer certain products in the bathroom.
Like a foot massage?
I'm just saying there's certain ones at vending machines that offer certain... that kind of class.
I guess, yeah. It was a classy place. Of course
Did it serve pizza in a buffet style?
I mean, it's an entrepreneur. That's what an entrepreneur thinks. What does the guy need in the bathroom? I'll set up a little vending thing, and they put money in, and I'll sell it to him, okay?
So your step one is you would say you just got to
get a job. You've got to get some money in the bank, right? If you go to a banker and you're trying to do a concept, and they say, "Well, how much skin can you put in the game?" You go, "Well, I don't have any because quite frankly, this is such a great idea. I mean, don't you see the value in funding this?" They're gonna look at you and go, "Yeah, not so much."
Bye-bye.
So you've got to get a war chest. And the way you do that is working and living below your means and just automatically saving money, okay? And then number 2, the best place to get money, like I said, is an SBA loan through a bank. The government then does a 90% guarantee to the bank. The banks love them, and some banks are a little bit more business friendly than others.
Let me just make sure we're getting this, Thrive Nation. If you're listening right now and you want to get an SBA loan, here are some of the technical things, the big 5 you have to have ready to go pitch that deal to a bank, okay? 1, you have to have a credit score that is respectable. So I'm going to just tell you, you have to have like a 725 or above, or don't go in that door. Don't go in there with a 500 score. They're going to reject you and your business, and you're going to feel...
And they're going to laugh at you on the way out.
Barnes, this is hilarious. Did you see this jackass coming in here today with a 400 credit score? 487. That's hilarious. So anyway, they use those business plans as toilet paper. That's what they're doing. Okay, so just go in there with at least a 720 or so. The next thing, have some collateral, because the banker's going to say, and what do you plan on putting up for collateral? Your house? Your car, your house? And you'd say, I don't want to risk anything. No, you've got to have some collateral.
Skin in the game.
Burn the ships.
I see so many entrepreneurs that say, though, I'm not willing to risk up my I mean, Charles, you just built a massive facility. You've built massive gyms. I mean, multi-million-dollar gyms. Have you ever been asked to put up some collateral?
Yeah, every time.
No, I don't want to put.
Shocking.
It's so
Your
funny.
word is very good. We'll just take that.
Well, it's so
Yeah,
funny.
exactly.
I see, that's where the rubber meets the road. I see so many entrepreneurs that say, I love my business idea. I'm just not willing to put my house up for it.
Come on.
It's not going to work. I mean,
That's the opposite mindset of a successful entrepreneur.
yeah. So that's again. This is very normal. The third, you have to have a business plan. And Chup, we can put it on the show notes, but we have an outline for what is called the perfect business plan that we've laid out for you. It's actually compliant with what banks want, and you can get it as a downloadable by going to Thrivetime Show. Click it on the podcast button. You can get it right there. And the outline was created by Bessemer Venture Capital, and it lays out specifically what you have. You have to have a business plan. You can't be shocked when they ask you for these things. All right. The fourth thing, you have to have a team. This is the thing. If you're a startup, people don't want to hear like, I've never started a business before and I'm going at it solo. And they want to see like, okay, who's on your team? Maybe having a partner would be helpful. Maybe having some kind of advice. And the fifth, you have to have a firm knowledge of your numbers. I mean, see, if someone asks you your numbers and you go, numbers, I mean, the idea is so big, the numbers don't even matter.
It's $1 billion concept.
It's
10%
10% of $1 billion is a lot, right? Right.
Bro, I tell
My
you, this coffee
imaginary
shop.
friend will vouch for me.
Yeah, this coffee shop, bro, is going to redefine coffee, man.
It's going to be
just
like
gonna be
meta coffee.
if you just give me like $250K, bro, I can I'll conquer. Like, look at Starbucks, man. They're like on every corner.
I'll
man.
give you
This
like
would be
5% of my brand.
They say my coffee's better than Starbucks. Well, the coffee I'm going to make is going to be better.
In my mind, I can picture the
It's
coffee
gonna be
being
mine.
more of. It's not even
Yeah.
so much coffee. It's more of like a movement.
Mine's not so much Starbucks. I'm going to name mine Moon Bucks because it's just so good. So much bigger.
Moon
The
Bucks.
moon's bigger than a star. Don't you know,
And if you
bro?
think about a buck, typically
Yeah.
they're not wearing pants, so they're always mooning you. You know,
You
what I
know,
mean?
I might name my moon $2 because it's going to be
Have you
twice
guys ever
as good.
seen Uncle Bucks? It's awesome, bro.
It's awesome, bro.
Bro, back to the business plan, though. Seriously.
So seriously, man, it's just going to
John
rock.
Candy, have you ever watched him in
gonna
movies? He was
rock.
so good, bro.
One time, I was down in Mexico and had a great little cup of coffee, and I said, "That'd be awesome, man."
So here we are, united. You know what? Things just don't happen by accident, bro. And so we're here together. I gotta
There's
tell
a
you,
reason why we're
I
both
had a
here, bro.
guy who literally came to the offices at 16th and Boston. This is before Thrive, and he tells me, "You know why we're here right now? God does not make accidents. We're here by divine appointment, and we're here for this appointed moment because this fuel additive that I have right here, this is going to change the game." And I'm going, okay, I'd like to see a business plan. And he goes, God doesn't make accidents. He goes with the whole God card. And he was dead serious that God doesn't make accidents and we're here for a divine appointment about his fuel additive. And all he wanted was $1 million.
That's all.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
No, he's like, all I'm asking for is $1 million. I mean, you come in there.
And you can own 4% of it. I love Shark Tank. Those guys get on there. They're all so. It's like, dude, you haven't sold anything yet, and your business is worth $10 million. You know, it's kind of like, are you crazy? You know.
So, Chup, if anybody out there, because we have a lot of great people listening, and I think a lot of the people we coach with are existing business owners. I'd say that's probably 90% of the folks we work with are existing business owners. So they get it. They get raising capital. Am I missing something there? Am I
No, man, I think that's it.
Charles?
Redo those.
I think you did really good. I think
Run through those 5 for me real quick one more time. Just
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure we get this. You have to go in. You cannot go in for a business loan without a decent credit score.
So if yours is low, fix it. And there's things you can do to fix it. So
Reach out to a credit repair specialist. You just have to do it. If you're not doing that, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do that. Okay, so you just go in with a good credit score. Don't go in with a 400 credit score. I'm just telling you, it's not going to work. All right.
Exactly.
The second thing is, go in with the mentality that you're willing to put up every physical asset you have. Everything. I mean,
Everything. All in,
your
baby.
mutual fund, whatever
Shove
your
all those
grandfather
chips in.
left you. A lot of people have an inheritance they were given. You have cash. You have land. I mean, you got to go all in.
we talked about this on a previous show, but I've got a client right now who did that. She sold her house 1.5 years ago to start her business. She did $500,000 of business her first year, and guess what? She's still living with her mom.
Can I?
She's making money, but she's delaying that gratification.
Delay it.
And going to
Yep.
save and
You
do the
go,
right
girl.
thing.
I don't
gotta
want to
think-
rip on your client, and I just want to make sure you get this.
Yeah.
I don't know of a single example of any of the autobiographies I've read on my shelf of any of them who did not put everything into the business. I can't
Right.
think of a single example. I mean, Walt Disney lost it all twice. Thomas Edison lost it five times. Elon Musk, 10 years of his life invested in Tesla. I mean, I can go on and on. Every example. I mean, Sarah Blakely was down to her last $1,500 before she built the billion-dollar company Spanx. T.D. Jakes was working at a bus plant making buses while offering free food as a way to trick you into going to church. I mean, seriously, these are the things. This is how it happens. I mean, if you have a backup plan, you're going to lose, Z.
I know. I know. You know what? I believe you because I know you're the world's best business coach. I've seen it. I felt it. I hear it, and I know it. And so it's
just you got to do it.
You got to do it.
Now, the next thing, you got to have a business plan. You got to go in there with a business plan. If you don't have a business plan, again, we'll make it available for you on today's show notes. You can click the link for the perfect pitch deck, which was created by Bessemer Venture Capital. Okay, we'll put it on the show notes. It was also distilled in a book called Pitching Hacks by Naval Ravikant, one of the early investors in Facebook. He's the guy who started AngelList, the website for venture capitalists. It's just, we have it there for you. And so,
And I tell you what, when someone says do a business plan, it's very intimidating. Very intimidating. I remember the first time I was like, oh my gosh. That's a business plan. What's a business plan? What's a business plan?
I gotta plan my business. I don't have a plan. I'm just kind of running through me.
We've made it easy on you.
yes.
So it's going to be on today's show notes?
Yep, I'll put it on there.
we'll put it on there for you.
The
Now,
link.
the next move, you got to have a team. I mean, you got to get this. You have to have a team. And when you read the perfect business plan outline, you'll see this. So as an example, if I went into a local market to start a gym tomorrow, I have no experience owning a gym. I've coached clients that own a gym. But if
I've walked in a gym
if
before.
on the pitch deck it said on the business plan, pitch deck and the word business plan are synonymous. If it said that my partner in the venture was Charles Kolaw, he's serving on the board, and he's a 0.5% owner or whatever it is, but he's on the board, and they go, oh, by the way, he's owned, I could say, oh, by the way, he's owned 3 multi-million-dollar gyms, and he's the one advising me on all of the equipment I'm buying. Wouldn't that make a comforting kind of a feeling come over the people who are,
Absolutely.
really? You're not going to just guess? You're going to have someone advise you? That's great. Right? And the final thing is you have to know your numbers. And I will just say this, that most entrepreneurs don't think at all about the numbers, but you've got to have someone in your camp, someone on your team helping you look at those numbers. Otherwise, you're just going to get laughed at when you go in for a bank loan. You're just the banks are just going to, they probably won't laugh to your face, but I mean, see, you've invested.
They'll smirk. They'll smirk.
You've
You can't help
invested.
it.
They'll smirk.
You've invested in a bank, and you guys invested as a team into Regent Bank,
Yep, we
which
bought
was
the
formerly
bank.
the Bank of Nowata. Mm-hmm. You bought the bank. The bank's doing very well.
Very well.
Oklahoma
We
City.
just opened up Springfield. Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
Springfield. Wow. So you guys are
Spring
doing.
up to Springfield.
You're doing well,
Yes.
and so you have served on the board
Yes.
where you had to hear about these people, these unfortunate folks who didn't know these 5 moves. And you have to run it by the board. Sometimes the ideas are good, but if you don't have these, you're not even going to listen to it.
Most banks out there, their default is no. And then that way they don't, they don't have to worry. Just no, and please leave. So you have to be compelling, and you have to have your stuff together. And those 5 moves that Clay just outlined are the moves. Because whenever you can go into a bank and get a loan, you've done your homework right. You're getting the cheapest money out there and the best deal for you long term. So you don't have to go to a venture capitalist and have someone own 48% of your company, to give you whatever it is you're looking for. If you get your act together, do the moves we just taught you on this podcast, you can go out there and secure a loan and start your business and roll on with it.
Our business coaches can help you write this plan. We do it very often. Revolution Health, it's in Tulsa, revolutionhealth.org. I wrote the business plan for him. All right. I mean, this is a real example. There's so many businesses out there we've done this for. I promise you we can help you. We have the templates, the systems, but we can't help you if we don't get to know you. So go to thrivetimeshow.com today. Schedule your one-on-one business coaching consultation. And see, we always like to end this thing with a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a boom. Do you want to lead us out, my friend?
Absolutely.
Here we go.
We're ready, Thrivers.
I'm
all
ready.
together now.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Is it time to say boom?
Wait, boom?
I think I missed it.
Boom.